My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about projecting your best self, right? Projecting your best self. I realize that we've talked a lot about setting a vision for this new year. It's still January. Well, as of this recording, yeah, it'll be released. It's still in January. I had to think about that for a second. With visualizations and I got into already talking about when you fall off the wagon and what happens. 3-4 weeks into the new year, we all the resolutions are already out the door. I have to backtrack a little bit in really making sure that you know what you actually want, right? Like I've been very assumptive in that the conversation has been assuming that you already know what you want and that you already are certain of what direction and what goals you've set for this year. If you're not there yet, it's okay. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. I know I have a habit of just kind of plowing forward and making assumptions that everybody's on the same page with me. So if you're not sure, then that's where to start, right? I say this also because I was definitely at a place in my life. I'd say around my late 20s, early 30s, well, more of early to mid 30s, where I just found myself not knowing what I was going to do or where I wanted to go. I knew the vision I had for myself and what I wanted. I didn't quite know how to get there, and so it wasn't so much the vision for me, but the trajectory. If you don't even know what your vision is, then just ask yourself, what do you really want, right? What do you really want? And just repeat that question, like, what do I want what do I want my life to look like? And really just be willing to ponder that. I think we can be a very, very distracted society, and we forget to think about these things. Even no matter where you are on your journey, it's important to think about what your vision is for the future. That way you can work towards a goal and towards an outcome. It keeps you productive. It keeps you, I think, fulfilled. It keeps you engaged in the things that you're passionate about. Because when you create a vision, when you're sure of what you want and the direction you want your life to head, then it's going to be really fun chasing those things, right? And so again, just ask yourself that question if you're not sure. I say this because I've coached a lot of people recently who just don't know what they want out of life, and that's fine, right? Like I come from a generation where we were told that life had to be one specific, very specific path, and you had to choose, coming out of the gate, what you want to do for the rest of your life. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's not truth, right? That's not truth. That works for some people. It's not going to work for everybody. And so I bounced around a lot through my 20s and even into my 30s until I found the right track to achieve the vision that I wanted to achieve, right? So ask yourself, right? It's okay. Like, first of all, forgive yourself and give yourself grace that you don't know yet. But then get to work trying to figure that out, right? I ask yourself, okay, so what do I really want? What do I really want out of life? And what do I want my life to look like? Ask yourself that before you go to bed every night. And eventually something will come to mind. You'll be inspired. There'll be more ideas as you go through your day. Another great place to start is to really think about what you already currently love in your life right now. Right? That's a great place to start, because chances are the vision that you want to create is more of those things that you currently love. And it also places you in an amazing state of mind that, you realize I do have a lot of things to be grateful for and a lot of things that I am excited about and really appreciate. So let me make more of that, right? And so that thrusts you forward with enthusiasm and excitement to create even more of a beautiful vision of life that you want for yourself. And then the last piece is really, once you've figured that out, right? Like once you've come up with that vision and it's more clear and it's a little bit more, taken a little bit more shape, then start to project yourself as if you already have those things and you already have that life, and that will help you to start forming and figuring out who you need to be in order to fulfill those things and to have that life, right? This question really is about, who do you need to be, right? And who do you want to be? I think we have it, well, we can go through life just doing and fall into identities that weren't necessarily purposeful. And so this puts us back in the driver's seat of being purposeful with the identity of who we want to be. And it's in the context of the life that you actually want. Part of what really helps me is envisioning my role models and me trying to emulate and being more like my role models, basically, right? Like just off the top of my head, Walt Disney is a big role model of mine. I've listened to his biography many times. I mean, I just love the whole Disney thing. George Lucas, Oprah Winfrey. I've mentioned her before in past episodes. Well, Michelle and Barack Obama, the Dalai Lama. I mean, I could go on forever. I have a lot of role models that I try to model myself after to create the identity that I feel like I want to be, that future version of me, and I project that in the now, so that I can start creating the reality and the vision of me having the life and being the person that I need to be to have that life, right? So it's really, yeah, you gotta really figure this out, because then if you don't, you're going to create a vision and therefore an identity that is by default, that's created by all the other influences that are happening around you, your circle of friends, your family members, society, whatever you're exposing yourself to on the internet. All of that is going to influence you, and you're going to create results in your life by default. You're going to create a vision by default. You're going to create an identity by default, and sometimes it's not the greatest outcome, right? Sometimes it's not the greatest outcome. So it's really, really important to be intentional with these things, and it's okay if you don't have a vision yet. If it's okay if you don't know who you want to be yet. But the main thing is just get started, get to work forming that vision, and that will guide you in the right direction. Intuitively and instinctively, it will guide you in the right direction. So that's my message for today. More from me tomorrow. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.